So excited! So excited!
All right, also, for this week's discussion, I guess, I'm going to talk about, at least in my experience, the difference between lease purchase and leasing from a company. There are companies out there that offer either one or the other, or they offer both. I have done this now 3 times. RTI is my 3rd time, and the other 2, if you watched previous videos, you know who those companies are. So I do want to apologize in advance if you hear my fan. Got my little fan here, pretty nifty. Got it at Walmart for 17 bucks, and it definitely helps out the APU. So my APU, when it gets really hot here in the truck, anytime it's above 85 degrees, even sometimes anytime it's above 82 degrees outside, my APU has a hard time keeping the truck cool. So I got that little fan to help. But yeah, I'm going to go over the differences in my experience between lease and then lease purchase, because I've been with a company, I've been with in both. I've been with a company that had it where they had both. So basically, I'll just start with just regular old lease. There's companies out there that offer you to lease the truck from them. So basically, you are paying for that truck payment. You are being a owner-operator while running their truck and paying for it. But at the end of the lease, they do not have any intention on selling you that truck, or you as a driver who is signed into that program does not have the intention of buying the truck and having it owned outright by yourself. So, with that said, some of those companies will offer lease completion bonuses, where they will offer you to where if you complete the whole lease, they will give you certain cents per mile for how many miles that you drove that truck for the lease. Some of those leases are at 350,000 miles. Some of them I've heard go all the way up to 400 and something thousand miles, or 500 something thousand miles. It just depends on when that company wants to retire the truck. The program with the company that I was part of that offered both lease purchase or lease, they definitely pushed you for a actual lease, and they made it very hard for you to actually buy the truck at the end of that lease if you so chose you wanted to buy the truck. In my lease, I had it to where when I was with them, they told me right out the gate, going, hey, you'll run this truck for 350,000 miles. You won't go above it. We encourage you to turn it back in at the end of the 350,000 miles, and then we will put you, and then you can go into another new truck, and we will give you a 25-cent bonus. We will pay you 25 cents per the 325,000 miles, which comes out to, if I did my math correctly, about 14 grand. So they would give you 14 grand on top of that. Most drivers with this company never reached that 325,000 or 350,000 mile mark very quickly. So they also offered a bonus if you stayed with them for more. If you stayed with them for 5 years, a longevity bonus of 10 grand. So you would have that $14,000 plus the 10 grand. So you would end up walking away from the truck potentially with $24,000 in a bonus. And then if you chose to move on into another new truck with them, the whole process would start all over again. They would give you another 350,000 miles. They'd give you the lease completion incentive bonus. They would put you in a brand new truck, brand spanking new every time. But they made it to where it was extremely expensive. They were charging you for weekly fixed expenses. When I was doing it, they were charging me right around $1,400. I've talked to a couple of the drivers who are in that program now. They're barely making ends meet. They're not making a lot of money. On top of that, the company, seeing how they did allow you to purchase the truck if you so chose you wanted to, they would make you pay, at least for the truck that I was trying to buy from them. I had a Peterbilt 579 with an Epic loft. They wanted me to pay, and if I remember correctly, it was either $40,000 or $80,000 extra on top of the lease. So I was looking at like 200 by the time I completed that lease, and if I wanted to buy the truck, I was looking at like $230,000 to $240,000 on a truck that I was buying, which in my opinion is just outrageous. Especially when you have zero say-so on what happens to the truck. They governed you at what they wanted you to be at. They told you what you could and couldn't do with the truck. They had full control over everything. Now there are other companies out there that I've heard of, and I have seen by watching other people's videos on here on YouTube, where there are other programs out there that offer a lease completion bonus as well. I don't know exactly how those work, but I know from my experience with the company that I was with, they made it very hard for you to even complete the lease if you could. And if you did, it was pretty lucrative for you. And there are drivers that just bounce from one truck to the next with them, and they've been with the company for a long time, and they really like it. I won't name names, but they are a company based out of Springfield, Missouri. No, it is not the company that everybody thinks that is out of Springfield. It is the other big mega carrier out of Springfield that spawned off of the mega carrier that you think it is. So, they were super big in the West Coast until they sold themselves off, and now they're just out here. And they're, in my opinion, being doing the same things as they've always done, making it hard for a lease purchase driver lease driver to make any money. So then you have into, from a lease, from my experience, where you don't have the option to buy the truck at the end, and you're basically paying rent on the truck. You're basically making the company's payment on that truck, and you get nothing out of it. Where you go lease purchase. Whereas in my experience, I've had here at RTI, and I had one other company where the goal is to own the truck at the end of the lease. The previous company allowed me to choose which truck I wanted. I had a choice between either a Volvo, Freightliner, or International. I was able to choose out of those three. Here at RTI, I was kind of able to give them a hint on what I wanted, and they just found whatever they had available. But you do have a choice between either between a Freightliner or an International. With a lease purchase, though, it is the intent to end up, once you complete that lease, to buy the truck at the end. Now, most companies do require a balloon payment at the end, like RTI. In my contract, I have a $20,000 balloon payment. With that being said, RTI, to counteract that $20,000 and to attract drivers into the lease purchase program, during the lease, my lease will last about 3.8 years. By the time I'm done with the lease, the truck will still have some pretty good life left to it. I will be, but they end up during the lease giving you bonuses. And if you're smart enough, you will hold on to that bonuses and put it off to the side. And that way, at the end of your lease, the way they put it in their wording is, we are basically paying your $20,000 balloon payment for you in these bonuses, as long as you save those bonuses. So keyword is, you have to save those bonuses that they give you to pay for that $20,000 balloon payment. Most companies, almost all the companies that I'm aware of that do a lease purchase, if you're buying the truck directly from the company themselves, has a balloon payment there at the end. Like I said, RTI's is not too horrible. It's $20,000. When I was looking into lease purchasing, I know a huge lease purchasing company that does a lot of advertisement as SFI. A lot of people go through them. They have a huge $40,000 balloon payment at the end, unless you're willing to add another year onto your lease contract, and then they drop it down to the $20,000, and then you still have to pay for that $20,000 at the end. From what I have had conversations with the SFI representative, there are companies out there, like the previous company I worked for, where at the end of the lease, because they were only charging me $425 a week for the truck, which is super small compared to what I'm paying here at RTI at $746 a week, they charged an $80,000 balloon payment at the end. Now, that company, I did not have to have the $80,000 myself and come with it. I had to have a down payment where I could give that to them, and they would finance the rest of that for me. Rest of that $80,000 for me. So that company that I worked for offered that. There are companies out there that don't do that. There are companies that offer you a lease purchase, and they like a major one out of Oklahoma. I'm sure everybody knows about them. I'm not going to name names. They advertise that you can pay off the truck with a buyout of $1 at the end of your lease. Well, your lease is between 6 to 7 years. So by the time you finish your lease, your truck is already almost to 1 million miles. And it's not really worth it anymore, in my opinion. That company does give you that dollar during orientation, though, to hold on to for if you do go through the whole 6-7 years, you pay them the dollar and then the truck's yours. So, yeah, there's a mixture between the two. Like I said, there's positives, negatives, all of it. My personal opinion, I don't want to just rent a truck from a company and have to where I could possibly have a cash bonus at the end of the lease. There are drivers that like that, they finish the lease and then they take that bonus and they skedaddle out of the company and they go put it on a down payment on a truck for their own. There are companies there and whatnot, which is fine. If that works for you, that works for you. I personally, if I'm going to be putting my heart, soul, and time into a truck while I'm leasing it, I would rather just buy it out at the end of the lease. Now, don't get me wrong. I have considered, especially seeing how RTI, what I've been told, I haven't been confirmed, will allow you to bring in your own truck. I have considered going to a leasing company like Lone Mountain or whatnot and getting my own truck. Now, with Lone Mountain, there's a difference between them as well. They offer you used trucks. They also offer some new ones, but they are like a traditional bank. They go through credit score. Yes, credit score is not really a big factor, but they do look at your credit. They want a down payment, but they have it to where it's a monthly payment instead of a weekly like what I'm paying here for this truck. I'm paying weekly, whereas with Lone Mountain it would be monthly. They do offer trucks that have much higher miles though, so you are potentially having the fact that you're going to have a truck that's going to have some high maintenance because it has those higher miles. So in my experience, that's the difference between a lease and a lease purchase. So if you're thinking about joining into a company or getting into a company that offers programs like this, you need to decide which program works better for you. If you want to own the truck at the end of the lease and walk away with the title of the truck, or if you just want to basically rent the truck and have a cash bonus incentive at the end of it, and make it to where you're in a new truck every 4 years. You're guaranteed a brand spanking new truck every 4 years. There are programs out there though too, like a company I was looking into before I joined RTI, that has where you lease a truck from them, and then after you've been with them for a year, they offer you the opportunity to put a significant amount of money down, and then they will go out and they'll buy the truck for you, spec it to whatever you want to have it be spec'd out to, and then you pay off that truck. Now that I'm aware of, there is no balloon payment on that one. With that program, I don't know. They are a company that I was very much considering before it came on to RTI. I'm sure a lot of people know about them because they're talked about on YouTube, here on YouTube all the freaking time. There's multiple people on YouTube with multiple videos about this company. So, yeah, my experience, that's the difference between the two. You need to find which one fits better for you and which one you like better. So, yeah, it's been hot this last couple of weeks, especially these last few days. So stay cool, guys. Find whatever way you can to stay cool inside the truck. Like I said, with my truck, my APU isn't strong enough to keep the truck completely cool on its own, so I had to get myself a little fan. If that's what you need to do, look in the Target, Walmart, wherever you shop, to get something to help you stay cool while you sit in the truck and you're on your 10-hour break, or if you're on a 34-hour reset, or whatever it is. So yeah, that's the discussion for this video. This video will be followed by my review with RTI. Jesus, I've been up since 1 a.m. Sorry, and it's after 4 o'clock now. But yeah, after this video, you'll be preceded by my review of these last couple of weeks. So stay tuned. All right. What's up, y'all? So here's the review for week 15 and 16. Enjoying some Liquid Death, Dr. Thunder. This is the one that supposedly tastes like Dr. Pepper. No, it is not alcohol. It is a flavored sprinkling water. Just so you are aware, I don't know if you can see it, but it is a flavored sprinkling water, not alcohol. Not one of my favorites, but oh well. So, review for week 15 and 16. Personally, in my opinion, 15 went really, really well. I made well over 3,000 miles, got a really good paycheck. Got to go to a new state that I've never been to, Michigan. Now I have officially gone through all 48 states. Well, besides New York, the actual state of New York I have not been to. New York City I have been to. So I guess technically I've been to 47. But week 15 went really well. I made some really good money. Personally was expecting from week 14, I think it was, I had a tire replaced. It was either week 14 or week 13. I was expecting the charge for that tire being replaced being on last week, which did not happen. Unfortunately, it came out on week 14. I mean, not week 14, my bad. Week 16. So, week 15, like I said, really, really well. Had some really good miles. My driver manager kept me running. Week 16, had some decent miles. Ran off of my recaps. I haven't done that in a long time. I run really well enough to where I'm at least getting a 34 every week. And the way my loads have ran, I've been getting a 34 to where I have a fresh clock every week. Well, this time around did not happen, which is fine. I know how to run off my recap. Still made some good miles. Made a little over 28 or 2,900 miles. The paycheck, though, for this week, I'm not gonna lie, after receiving it today for the settlement, was not too happy. Running 2,900 miles and barely grossing a little over $1,000. It's a little upsetting, a little stealing the wind out of your sails. A lot of it had to deal with, of course, fuel prices going up, which in turn made my expenses for my fuel to go up. Again, that's on me. My expenses for the fuel. I probably got a lot more fuel than I probably should have, but being out there on the East Coast this week, on week 16 the whole time, and there was a major humidity and heat wave going on, so I was having the truck running quite a bit, so I needed to have that fuel so I could stay cool. Before I got to the pay settlement, though, I got an email showing me that they were going to take out my tire this week, which is a little upsetting too. I understand it was coming. I was expecting it to happen come out of week 15's paycheck, not week 16's paycheck, but they decided to wait to charge me for it until week 16. So overall, these last couple weeks I had some really good miles. 1 week I had really good pay. 1 week not so great a pay because of my fuel expenses skyrocketing up. Again, like I said, my had a tire changed and got charged for it this week too, which added into the expense. So yeah, not really. Overall, I'm still pretty happy about the company. I do want to apologize for week 14's video as well. I should have been more professional and should have not posted the video of me cussing and being extremely belligerent about the driver who held me up. That was very unprofessional of me, so I'd like to apologize now. I know it doesn't erase for what I did, but it was extremely unprofessional. So, yeah. Overall, I'm still happy here. I do have some issues, obviously. I'm not a big fan of the way the maintenance program runs here. How the shop you can get something fixed, and then the shop can decide to charge you whatever the heck they want, and bill you for it whenever the heck they want. Obviously, on the level of getting miles and staying busy, I am happy with that part. So that part I'm still really happy with. Overall, the last couple weeks have been pretty good. I would still recommend somebody to come here. I would definitely take into consideration about how they run their maintenance program, though, if you're going to choose to come on here. When I came on, I made the mistake. I probably should have asked more about it. Unfortunately, when I went through orientation, the head shop guy did not come into orientation because he was busy. So I wasn't able to really ask much questions. The questions that were asked were pretty basic questions, and they were answered to the best ability that the ladies there in orientation could give us. So overall, I'd still say RTI is a good company. Yeah, pretty good weeks. So, exciting news. My LLC got approved in the state of Idaho. So the previous videos that I've had of things that are coming, that is basically me telling you about my LLC getting approved and about my company called Evans Transportation. I'm super excited about it. Brand new company. I believe that Evans Transportation will succeed. So pretty excited about that. I've made some logos, got some logos approved, waiting on getting those trademarked. Next time I'm home, I'm going to be getting some. I'm going to be going and setting up my business account. Now, it's not required at RTI to have a LLC, like some other lease operating companies. You can be a sole proprietor with RTI. But there's so many more benefits with getting an LLC. For one, you're protecting yourself and separating your lease and the truck and anything like that away from yourself. you're also opening yourself up to where you can get fuel cards like mud flap, stuff like that, to where you can have bigger and better discounts. Now RTI does have they use ComData as their fuel card. It has a 9-cent fuel discount. Not that great. You're literally stuck at filling at Love's and Pilots and Flying J's with a 9-cent discount off of the credit price. So you're paying what it says for cash, basically. And that's about that. So having an LLC opens you up to where you can go with Mudflap or 10-4 or Fuelman or whatever fuel card you so choose you want to go with, and that opens you up to much bigger fuel discounts. Like I know Mudflap offers up to 40 cents or 80 cents, I can't remember, off. It all depends on where you stop to go get fuel at, which is obviously much cheaper than what RTI's fuel program offers you. So yeah, overall still pretty happy here. Not gonna lie, I'm not too happy. Like I said, not too happy with the way they run their maintenance program and how they bill it out. And like I said, I was going to be open and honest with everybody with my experience here. I'm just going to tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly. I don't really care. I'm going to continue telling you all that and being open and honest with you until I'm told I can't anymore. And in my personal opinion, if I'm told I can't, then that obviously means that the fit here will no longer work. So yeah, as always, at the end of the video, I'm going to show you my 2 pay settlements for these last couple weeks, to where, again, that's the honesty part, to where you can see what I made and what I spent. So yeah, I hope you guys continue watching. Remember to hit that like button down there. I don't really care. If you want to subscribe, I would love it. Make comments, whatever you want to do. So yeah, till next time, guys.